here tonight on 4 platforms. Welcome. I hope everybody is doing well on this Sunday evening. If you celebrate Palm Sunday, happy Palm Sunday. Hi, everybody. Come on in. Welcome. Hello. I'm Christy-Faith. I am here to talk all about homeschooling and education. We are here together on this Palm Sunday. If you celebrate, happy Palm Sunday. We do. We've had a lovely day. Hi, Jules. Hello. We are on TikTok here. We are on Facebook and Instagram. No, Facebook and YouTube there, and Instagram there. Hi, Instagram. Welcome, everybody. Hi. I am here to answer any questions you have regarding homeschooling or education in general. I have been in education for over 20 years. I have been teaching teachers for most of that time. I have taught thousands of students, worked with so many families. I have read so many IEPs. There really isn't an educational issue that exists that I have not, that I don't have intimate awareness about. So, hello, Ashley. Welcome. Hello, Erin. Yay! I see that we have some Thrive mamas in here. It is, I know for the rest of you guys, it's spring, but we just had a snow blow in and it is so pretty. In fact, I opened my window right here. I hope the neighbors don't walk by to see what I do. That would be super embarrassing. But I wanted to see the snow flurries because it is so beautiful. I live in Colorado, and I grew up in Southern California, and I always dreamed about living in a place where it snowed. And I absolutely love the snow here, and it snows in a way where it melts very quickly. So, I mean, a couple times a year we have to plow, but honestly, it usually melts because, as you guys know, Denver is a mile high. So the sun is very strong here, and it melts a lot of the snow. So I'm sure this will probably be melted tomorrow. You probably won't even have to plow it, babe. Come on in. Oh, Jules, you got snow too. Awesome. Yes, I'm sure you get a lot more snow than I do. Do you?
Emily says it's snowing in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Oh, nice. Yay. All right. But, you know, we did notice one of my little girls took me on a tour of the house this afternoon, the outdoors, to show me all of the buds on every leaf, on every one of our bushes. And I realized, babe, by the way, in the front, the snow like smushed down. I'm a little worried about some of those in the front. Did you see those?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, we'll see. That's the other thing about Denver is it's very hard to keep things alive here because it's just really, really difficult. And our growing season is very short. We don't need to talk about my yard for this live tonight. I am here to talk about anything education. Please introduce yourself if you are on here this evening. I want to know if you are a homeschooler, how long you've been homeschooling, how many kids you have. I'd love to know the style of homeschooler you are. And if you don't know your style, you need to know. So you need to go and take my free style finder. It takes 5 minutes. It's totally free. And then come back and tell me what style you came out as. Do we have a question yet, or I have stuff I want to talk about?
Emily says, our local YMCA asked me to help them plan daytime programs for homeschool families. Any advice?
Oh, that's amazing. That's so great that they did that. So I have never done, well, we ran an entire homeschool, but I have never started a co-op or anything like that. If you're in Thrive, you should hit up Jessie, because Jessie has started, runs, all sorts of things. I think she is in Thrive. Yeah, I didn't see the last name. But DM Jessie, because you can ask her all sorts of, oh my goodness, Jennifer, short sleeve weather. Oh, brother. And it got cold. Oh, and I'm starting a new audiobook because I'm really proud of myself and I'm trying to give myself more rest. And so this afternoon, I made myself a hot tea, and it was cold, so I had my beanie on and my big winter jacket, and I sat on my front porch in my chair, and I listened to an audiobook while I drank English breakfast tea. And it is the setting of my book is England, so it was fitting. And it was a really nice day. Yeah.
S. Fang says, I need some kindergarten curriculum. Any recs?
Yeah, so is this Faye? You said
S. Fang.
S. Fang. Please tell me your homeschooling style. If you don't know your homeschooling style, go take my 5-minute style finder and then it only takes 5 minutes and it's free. And then come back and tell me your style. So we have also for free, completely free, a download that is curriculum recommendations as well. But you really need to know your style before you make any big decisions. In fact, I wanted to make a TikTok this week or a short or a reel, whatever platform you're on, about please don't buy curriculum. Don't succumb to all those amazing sales, because curriculum companies are gearing up and they are selling the sizzle right now in a major way. But please don't buy curriculum until you know your style. Which comes to mind, we are starting the Fail-Safe Homeschool Setup in Thrive Homeschool Community April 3rd. That night, I am going over how to choose your curriculum and how to adequately compare several of them so that you really know what you want and what you're buying. So if curriculum decisions are hard for you and you get lost on the internet and you just end up shutting down, please come to that workshop the night of April 3rd. If you are not in Thrive Homeschool Community, ask me about it tonight, because if you join Thrive Homeschool Community, you can be a part of our massive launch of our Fail-Safe Homeschool Setup. From April to July, I am going to walk you through setting up the best kick-butt homeschool you've ever seen, that is amazing, that you love and that your kids love. And we're an awesome group. So ask me about the group if you are curious what that is and what the Fail-Safe Setup is and what Thrive is. So hello, hi Instagram, hello YouTube, Facebook, and hello TikTok.
Oh.
Yes.
King Caitlin, just listening. I want to homeschool, but I'm a single mom and afraid to pull the trigger. So just listening.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you're here tonight. Okay, so I want you to go and get all my freebies, though. Which platform is she on? I want to look at her.
Insta.
I want you to grab my freebies. So take my style finder, it's free. Grab my how to homeschool guide, and then my curriculum recommendation. I have a lot of free stuff on there. And if you have not read my book, you should buy my book. It is on Amazon. It's called Homeschool Rising, Shattering Myths, Finding Courage, and Opting Out of the School System. It takes a lot of courage to homeschool. And I think that book might be just what you need to be able to make the best decision for your family. And yes, a lot of single parents do homeschool.
S. Fang follows up with, how do you take that homeschool style quiz again?
You go to the link in my bio and it will say quiz on there, and you just click it and you go bing, 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 bing. And it only takes 5 minutes, and I'll still be here because I just got on the live. Yeah. You guys take my 5-minute homeschool style quiz while you're on this live with me, because I'm going to be here another hour and it only takes 5 minutes, and then come back and tell me what you came out as.
Gabby follows up with, hi, I'm a teacher and I want to homeschool next year.
Yay!
I have 3 boys, 12, 10, and 8, and a little
Perfect.
4-year-old girl.
Oh.
Any recs for middle school kids?
Yes. Well, one, I'd love to see you in Thrive, because we have an entire Zoom per month just for you, homeschooling teens. We actually split up our live office hours, which is with me and 2 other mentors. We split them up by age group. So and the reason why I did that is because if you are homeschooling teenagers, you don't need to hear a lesson where I'm coaching a mama on how to teach your kid how to read, right? So that's why we split it up by age. And I would love to see you in there. I think it's a little bit harder for us teachers to homeschool because we've been programmed so much, at least I believe it was harder for me and most teachers that I talked to. But who knows? I feel like the tides are changing and teachers are seeing it more than ever before. So I want to make sure my sound is okay on Instagram. I have a mic here for Instagram, but can you just give me a thumbs up if it's good on Instagram?
Oh, we got some mama superheroes. We got Alen, a single mama in my 2nd year homeschooling on TikTok.
Yay! Awesome!
And we got So Viable, single mom, and I homeschool
Woo!
5 kids.
Look at these single mamas. You guys are amazing. I love it.
Great. Okay, yeah, we have a lot of questions tonight here.
Okay, tons of questions. You guys, we're going to get to as many questions as possible. And also, I want to tell you, you guys know I have a ton of free stuff in my bio, so let's just get that out of the way. Also, Ask me about Thrive Homeschool Community if you have questions, because we are closing enrollment in a little over a week. We are closing enrollment. So, and we're offering the best sale that we've ever offered since founding members. So if you are curious and you need support and you are scared you're going to mess this up and you just want help making the right curriculum decisions and how am I going to manage all the things? How do I homeschool my older ones and have my little ones? How do I keep my house in order? All those things, all those fears. That is why I created Thrive Homeschool Community. We help you create a kick-butt homeschool that your kids will thank you for when they're adults, but also one that you love and are proud of. So, enrollment is closing in a little over a week, and we are offering the best deal you will ever get. The deal will never be this good. So, you can ask me about Thrive tonight, but I want to get to the questions.
Okay. Thrive. Okay, let's see here.
And if I get enough, like if we get like a solid 5 questions about Thrive, then I'll stop and answer questions about Thrive.
E-Beach is Thrive for homeschooling preschoolers or too soon?
Yes, I want you when your child's 3. In fact, if you're going to start preschool this fall, so you could technically have a 2-year-old, I want you in there. I want you to go through the 8-step framework. I want you attending the office hours for the littles. I want to set you up correctly for how to teach your little one how to read. I want to make sure you're not doing too much in your preschool. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Anybody, and ask anybody in here who has preschoolers who is in Thrive. I'm sure they're happy. I don't want to speak for them, but they tell me they are very happy and thrilled that they are taking care of things now.
Jay Frenchie, just panic joined Thrive. Not planning on homeschooling until 2025. Should I still participate now?
I would love for you to. 1, the price will never be better. And 2, you can take your time going through the 8-step framework. So, and what tends to happen, well, yeah. Yes, I want you now. Yeah. And by the way, it's risk-free. You guys can cancel we don't keep anyone in. It's not anything like that. It is risk-free. Cancel anytime. Don't worry about any of that.
DiCario, my friend who will start homeschooling asked me if her daughter who has autism is required to take the test. I told her I don't know.
Okay, what state?
I don't know.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about state laws. Homeschool setup, but I can do a brief thing now. We actually do an exercise together over a workshop where we are all doing the paperwork to make sure we're homeschooling legally. I walk you through everything to make sure you're not accidentally breaking a law. Here's the thing about laws. We have 50 states, and the homeschooling laws in each of the 50 states are different. However, what I will say is there's a general 10 laws, and there's like different mixtures of them by the state. So what you need to do is you need to know your state laws. Some states require you to give your child an assessment and turn that in. Some states say, well, there's several ways you can assess your child, and you can turn in an assortment of different ones. You have freedom in that. In the state of Colorado, we have to turn in assessments every other year. We don't have to do it every single year. So it really depends on your state. Some states you have to turn in lesson plans. Some states you don't. But I walk you through all of that in the fail-safe. So don't stress. It's very easy to homeschool legally, but you have to actually homeschool legally.
Holly
Yes.
Hines says, I'm currently homeschooling my 13-year-old, and
Yay.
I'm about 13 weeks into a 36-week program going great. Should
Okay.
I be doing any kind of assessments or tests to show mastery?
Okay. So I don't know if your state requires that. So to answer your question, generally speaking, when we are homeschoolers, we know how our kids are doing. So even though I even buy curricula that has tests in it, I never give the tests. I basically rarely do. Here, let me decline. I always get these strangers that come and ask to join my, So my answer is, if you are required to, then yeah, do the minimum. But that's the thing. We need to ask ourselves, what is an education? We've got to be careful not to make sure that we're not just teaching our kids for the test. And that's why you're asking this, because you're like, I don't feel the need to necessarily. I know she's doing just fine. Do I have to give her assessments? Some parents like to give assessments periodically so they have a file so that in case anybody asks, they have stuff to show. Let me tell you now, though, that would be for only your own peace of mind. States need a search warrant to ask for that kind of stuff. And if anyone asked you for that kind of stuff, you would be on the phone with HSLDA right now, and their bulldog lawyers would be sending letters and calling and fighting for you. So, but some parents just feel better just knowing, being able to see progress. A lot of parents who are no longer married, the ex wants to see stuff, and so they do keep records like that. It really depends. But what I will say, this is overarching. What I will say is you probably don't need to know if your daughter's learning. You know if she's learning. You're having conversations every day. You know how she's doing. So in many cases, it can be just busy work and not necessary. Okay.
Do you think it's possible to homeschool an 8, 11, and 5-year-old? It would be the first year.
Yeah, 8, 11, 5? Heck yeah. But join Thrive Homeschool Community because you seem scared and I need to de-school you because I need to teach you how to do it.
Coming from a certified teacher.
Yes, girl, you need to be in Thrive. I was in the classroom too. Yes, there's secrets to doing this. One, you do as many subjects. I'll give you the first one. You do as many subjects as possible together as a family. You do history together as a family. You do science together as a family. You do literature together as a family. I know that freaks you guys out. Shouldn't those be grade levels? No, they do not need to be grade levels. You can read a beautiful novel and have conversations at each of your kids' cognitive ability level. So, but that requires some deschooling. Also, if you are on my live tonight and you want to homeschool next fall, buy my book. My book is kind of like a masterclass in deschooling. And deschooling, I don't love the term. I like to say restorative thinking, where we're reclaiming what an education is, because we know homeschool education is not regurgitation of information. We know that. That's why we don't like it. We know our kids don't like learning, that it's just going through the motions. They're just doing school. We know that. We want them to love learning. We want them to have that intrinsic motivation. That's what we're after. So, and there are ways to do that and to achieve that. So in Thrive Homeschool Community, I have the 8-step homeschool success framework that when people join, I start them on right away. Like literally, I tell you, I DM you and I say, start the Finding Your Why workshop. It's 45 minutes. When you have a free 45 minutes, take the workshop. Anybody in here who's taken the Finding Your Why, let people know. That's revolutionary, but that guide, that's the starting point to your kind of like your restorative thinking process on what an education should be. And it helps you really get at what you want for your child and for your family. So that is the 8-step homeschool success framework. Now, step 6 in the framework is something we call the fail-safe homeschool setup. And that is the thing that gets you logistically all set up. How do you do your year? How do you do a week? How do you do a day? How do you pick your curriculum? How do I compare? I'm so overwhelmed. That is what we're starting April 3rd, and that is why I'm closing enrollment April 3rd, because as a community, we are going through live all together the steps of the fail-safe homeschool setup all spring, and then it ends in July. So that is why we are closing the doors for Thrive. So if you are interested, you need to join now or else you'll miss it. But because we feel bad, we're offering the best deal we've ever offered since founding members. Best deal ever on Thrive right now. And when are we closing doors? Like a little over a week? April 3rd. I think that's a little over a week. So if you are homeschooling next fall, this is what I want you anyway. I want time with you. I want to be able to coach you. I want to be able to walk you through the 8-step framework and the fail-safe. I want time with you because homeschooling is not really something you can throw together well in the last 2 weeks of summer. okay? I want you to love your homeschool. I want you to feel deep down in your heart that you are proud of this and that you're going to do an amazing job. And no, the days aren't going to look perfect. They never look perfect, but you're going to know without a shadow of a doubt that you're on the right track and that you have people to talk to coach you, and friends that care about your homeschool as much as you do. That is what Thrive Homeschool Community is. Back to questions. Okay.
Where do they find it?
Linktree. In my Linktree, whatever platform you're on, click the Linktree. I think it's the first button in there. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Sorry. Yes. Okay. In my Linktree, that's where people are like, okay, where do I sign up? Yes.
JM Styles.
Okay.
Buy her book. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Beach on Instagram. Would love to buy your book. Is it only available on Amazon?
It is available wherever wherever, what is the saying? Wherever books are sold. Is that?
Or booksellers everywhere.
Booksellers everywhere. Yeah. But you guys, so I heard a rumor. Okay, side note. Woo, detour. Welcome to my ADHD brain. I heard that they were popping up at Barnes & Noble. So after church today, we went to my Barnes & Noble. And you guys, it was there. I could not believe it. I cannot believe my book is in Barnes & Noble's. Ah! So.
Chris Carey over on YouTube, halfway through the book, and we are deschooling, and your book is giving me the courage that homeschool is the right path for us.
Woo!
We are doing it scared. Thank you for what you are doing.
Yes, do it scared. That's right. That's what we have to do. Yes. And so, and Kendra in here was talking about, if you want me to talk about everything that is in Thrive, I can, but let me know if you want that. Yeah.
Jay French, you're a breath of fresh air and light. Thank you for being you.
Oh, where is she?
She's on IG.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
Okay. So, Texas Mama, why is my older, who is failing first grade, now third grade and thriving in homeschool?
Right.
Because she was in public.
Yeah, because she was in public school. Yeah. And let's talk about the reasons why we want to homeschool, right? So number one is what you are addressing. That is individualized education. Individualized education. Also, we can have flexible curriculum. Sure, we buy curriculum. It's our guide, though. It's our guide, and we can adapt it. Kids thrive on our one-on-one attention. With homeschooling, they learn better. We are more in tune with them. There's reduced distractions. The list goes on. I have a list here. It's a more efficient use of time. We do not need 7 hours to educate kids. We can do it in a couple of hours. In my book, I have a graph on recommended ranges for hours. A tailored pace to learning. If your kid is not stimulated, you can move a little faster. If they're struggling on a spot, you can stop and slow down. In my book, I talk about how our education system, both public and private, is like a train, a freight train that does not stop, it does not slow down, and it does not even speed up. It just goes. And by the time it gets to its destination, it has left populations of children in the dust who didn't fit in the box. Whether they were struggling learners, they had diagnoses, whether they are gifted, and there were effects for that. You guys, homeschooling is such a beautiful, beautiful option for our families.
So this is, somebody took the style.
Oh, fun.
Quiz.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards the interest-led style, but it's important to have solid basics down.
Yes, so that is what interest-led. Okay, so that's a really great thing. That is the difference between interest-led and unschooling. So unschooling, when you are a true purist with unschooling, if your child does not want to learn math, you don't teach them math. So interest-led is that appeals to you. You want to follow your child's interests. However, you want basics down and you want them prepared, because ultimately, and this is just what I know, is that you don't want doors closed for them later. And so interest-led is a beautiful, beautiful homeschooling style. I'm excited for you. Yay!
Yeah, she asked for kinder recommendations. I love the idea of forced schools, but we don't have any here.
Yeah, I know. I don't think we have any. We have a barn school near us, but we don't have a forest school either. I think they're lovely and wonderful, but you don't need it. We've been successfully homeschooling for a long time without all the fancy, expensive bells and whistles, co-ops and schools and all of that. We can do it just fine, a beautiful job with the resources that we have. Absolutely. Yes.
Vicario, will your book ever come out in other languages?
I don't know that yet. I have not heard. I know that it will be on Kindle in a week or so. And I also know that it is going to be on audio. And my comment section is about to blow up with what I'm about to tell you. I was not allowed to read my own book on audio. So just I'll close my eyes while I fought, you guys. Oh, did I fight? It was a battle. It was epic. It was an epic battle trying to get them to agree to let me read my own book. And so hopefully they hired a very lovely voice actor who did a great job.
J.M. Stiles, if it were not for homeschooling, we wouldn't have been able to get my dyslexic daughter a private tutor.
Yes.
Public school just wanted to put her in special ed.
Right. And I love that because what people will tell you that don't understand homeschooling is they'll tell you that because your child has special needs, they have to be in the system. And the opposite is true. And this is a hill I will die on till the day I die, that a child with special needs is a reason to homeschool. You think the system is going to care as much as you? You think the system's going to fight for your child as much as you? You think your system is going to ditch programs that aren't working and trying to figure out and problem solve? No, they are not. They are not. Even the most well-meaning people have their hands tied. I was in Pilates class last week, and I had remembered, I had seen her in another class, and I was like, aren't you an SLP? That means speech and language pathologist. She goes, yeah, I'm an SLP at the local high school. And I said, so tell me. And she's like, all I had said was, so tell me. And she's like, girl. And I said, I homeschool. And she goes, I'm telling my daughter-in-law to homeschool her kids. It is a train wreck, especially when it comes to kids who need extra help. It's just impossible to do it. And this woman is a very good speech and language pathologist, and she cannot work to her potential because of the system itself. Okay.
Someone was asking, do you help with middle and high school?
Yes. So Thrive Homeschool Community, we have so many things, but one of the main things that people absolutely love in Thrive is we have office hours, and we have 4 a month, and we split them up by your kid's age. So we have a littles office hours, an elementary office hours, teen office hours, and then of course we have nighttime ones for all ages. For those of us mamas like myself who work, we need nighttime ones. So, yes, we have my 2 mentors. One of my mentors, her kids are already grown. And then another one of my mentors, her youngest is, I believe, 13, and her oldest is 20. So she has already graduated her oldest in homeschooling, and the middle one is in high school. Yes, I am a huge believer that moms who are homeschooling in high school need support. So we offer that in Thrive in a beautiful way. If you want to know about Thrive, I need you to know 2 things. The doors are closing. We are closing enrollment in a little over a week because we are doing the Fail-Safe Homeschool Setup starting April 3rd. We are doing it all together as a community, so we are all on the same system, all together. And also, because we feel bad that we're closing the doors, we are offering you the best deal we have ever offered since founding members. The price to join Thrive will never be lower than it is right now. And we are closing enrollment in about a week and a half. So ask your questions tonight so you don't kick yourself later. Because we always get it. The day after, we always get emails. We are shouting it from the rooftops. We are blasting our email list. Share this with everybody who you think might be missing the boat here, but I'm going live more often to make sure anybody who needs to hears that we have to close enrollment. Yes.
E-Beach on IG. My husband and I are struggling between homeschooling versus hybrid. Can you speak on this, as I'm leaning more towards homeschooling?
Yes. So can you describe your hybrid? Is it a 2-day a week? Is it a 3-day a week? And I do have thoughts about hybrids. That's a good topic.
Oh, Trina asked, I finished the book and
Trina?
I'm not sure. I finished the book and I wanted to do the questions at the end of the book. I looked on the website and I couldn't find the list of questions.
Oh. Email us. Yes. Thank you. That's right.
My mother teaches 7th grade and also supports homeschool over public school.
Nice. Yep. Absolutely. So many teachers, when I tell them I homeschool, and I was a teacher, when I tell them I homeschool, I don't tell them I was a teacher. They're like, oh, that's so much better. Like, it's a train wreck, you guys.
On YouTube, Mama Bear Homemaking, super new to homeschooling, thoughts on using Khan Academy as a supplemental resource?
Yeah, I think it's fine as a supplemental resource.
James Styles, all my clients who are in the school systems are so happy I homeschool my kids.
Yeah, exactly. Who's former teacher here? Homeschooling. I'd love to know if you're in here. Yeah, and Trina, we will email us. We will get that list to you, and we will get it up on the website probably tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
I just saw her here. School to a 2-day hybrid. Is it Lally that wanted to ask about the hybrid?
It might be.
They just left to a 2-day hybrid after bullying, and they're 3 weeks in. That might be somebody else.
Oh, no, that's new. That's a new
Okay,
one.
all right.
Carolyn, former elementary teacher, and I knew after 3 years teaching I'd be homeschooling my kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And doesn't it make you sad? Because it's the parents who, I feel like teachers, you guys listen up. Listen to the teachers. We are the canaries in the mines. You guys know that whole analogy that they would put birds down in the mines when people had to do mining because there are dangerous, noxious gases and deadly gases that can occur if you, I'm not explaining it right, but if you hit the wrong thing, a gas would come out and it could kill the people, the miners. So what they would do is they would bring a canary, a bird, down into the mines. And if the bird died, the bird would always die first. Then they would hightail it out because they knew there were noxious gases that are damaging or deadly to humans in the mine down there. So when we say the term canary in the mines, that's what I say teachers are. We are the canaries in the mines. We are telling you this is not working. Get out, get out, get out. It makes me so sad because it's the parents who aren't teachers who continue to trust the system.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping to change.
Carolyn says even the best teachers can't give every kid what he or she needs in the school system, unfortunately.
Yes, and I was one of those. I cared so much, and I felt like the system itself just prevented me from doing the job I wanted to do. And not to mention all the red tape and the politics and the this and the that with the teaching. I know. And you know what? For those people who it is their calling to be there, I am so glad you're there. I really am, because homeschooling, not everyone can homeschool, and not everyone should homeschool. And it's very sad that school, for some kids in our country, maybe, no, not maybe, or a lot more than some, it is the safest place they're going to be that day, the day that they go to school, the days they go to school. So thank you so much for being there and for making a difference. But for those of us, and I always say it's not a but, it's an and then there's homeschooling. There's homeschooling, and we are also called to our kids. We're called to our kids. We are to give them the best that we can possibly give them. We want them set up for a successful life. And that is what homeschooling, I say that homeschooling is the best possible educational option if you are a loving and motivated parent.
Hardy Airy,
Yes.
Everyone in my mom group is planning on either homeschooling or cyberschooling.
Yes, yeah, I get it.
Sarah, Ray, I worked at a school and all the principal's kids were homeschooled.
That's so funny, Sarah. That's hilarious. I've heard that before too.
Oh, yeah, and people wanted to know, by the way, about your opinion on hybrid schooling. Lally said they left the school to a 2-day hybrid after bullying.
Okay.
3 weeks in.
Okay.
And she said, my friend, what else did she say? What are your thoughts on hybrids?
Okay, let's have a moment to talk about hybrid schooling. Okay, what hybrid schooling is that it's a very loose definition, but basically it's where you're sharing the responsibility with either a private or a public school. So they're usually more than 1 day a week. They're usually 2 days a week or 3 days a week. Sometimes I've seen them to be half days, 4 days a week, half days. But the point is that the difference between homeschooling and a hybrid school is that a hybrid school usually has a curriculum that you have to follow. And essentially, you're given the homework to do with your kids on the other days they're home. Is it still homeschooling? Yes. Some people who want to be mean will be like, that's not homeschooling, that's part-time schooling. You know what? You're still taking charge of your family. I say a win is a win. A win is a win, and you don't have to do it. You can pull your kids out if you don't like the hybrid. So for me, if you want to know what I chose for my family, because I actually have a hybrid option less than 5 minutes from my front door, is I like the freedom of choosing the curriculum for my kids. So I don't have each kid in the same curriculum because I am a student of them and I look at them and I decide what they need. So if I had them in the hybrid where it is that math, that language arts, that, I don't really have the freedom to teach them in a way that I want to, that I desire for my family. I'd be losing that individualization that I really value in my homeschooling. You could call it control, but I like to call it individualization. Yeah.
Carolyn, I've been waiting to join Thrive for so long.
Yay!
And I'm so excited for this great deal so I can.
Yay! I'm so glad. I can't wait to meet you. Awesome!
Kelly, currently reading your book.
Woo! Kelly! It's right behind me. Do you guys see it? Boom! On the different platforms. It's in different places. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Yay! Awesome.
Emily, my almost 6-year-old is a math wizard. I can't figure out what grade level to buy him. Any suggestions?
Yeah, actually, I would suggest, and they're not sponsoring tonight's live. I would suggest CTC Math, and this is why. CTC Math is the only curriculum out there where you go in, you take a diagnostic, you figure out exactly where your kids' strengths and weaknesses are, and they give you access to every grade level. So other curricula, sure, they'll give you an assessment and you know their strengths and weaknesses right off the bat, but you have to figure out what grade level to buy. Not with CTC. You have access to all the grade levels, so they can go ahead in some areas or do some remediation in others. If there was a gap or something happened and they didn't grasp it well the first time around, you can go back and do it again. So that is why I actually went to CTC and I asked that they would start sponsoring my stuff, because truthfully, it is the best program out there for the diverse types of learners. So it is amazing for kids who struggle. It's amazing for kids who are performing just typically. It's also great for kids with any type of diagnoses. It's great for twice exceptional kids. So I really like CTC Math for that. So take a look at that. Yes. Someone's asking about the lifetime price for Thrive. Yes. The answer is yes. You get Thrive and you get me forever. Get ready. You're going to be like, that's enough, Christy. So, okay, Thrive Homeschool Community, we are closing enrollment in a little over a week because we are doing all together as a community the Fail-Safe Homeschool Setup. That is where I teach you how to completely get ready for next year. Now, why are we starting so early? We're starting early because I want to coach you through what curriculum to buy. I want to help you through the process of, for all of your kids, being able to pick the right thing for each one. And that's a lot of decisions, because if you're doing 6 subjects and you have 4 kids, that is a lot of decisions. So we have charts, graphs, we help you with analysis, we have you come to office hours to ask us. So we teach you how to be legal. We teach you how to organize your year. We teach you what a week is going to look like, what a day is going to look like. All of that. That's in the Failsafe Homeschool Setup, and that's in Thrive Homeschool Community. And we are starting it all together as a community April 3rd. And that is the day we are closing our doors to enrollment, because we got to do that all together. I can't have people staggered through that all spring long. That's too much. So, yes, so we are closing enrollment. So ask me, and then we feel bad about it. So we decided that, all right, well, if we're going to have to do this, we should offer a really good deal. So the deal right now is the best deal we have offered since founding members. And it is the best deal. It is the best price Thrive will ever be, ever. So we are closing enrollment in about a week and a half. Don't kick yourself later. Please don't make us reply to your email the day after and say, I'm so sorry. Like, just don't do that. Don't. Okay.
Kelly.
So questions about Thrive, questions about homeschooling. Let's go.
Kelly, sold. You and the community are so worth it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes. For those of you in Thrive, please speak up so that it's not just me talking about it. Because I know it's amazing. I love it. And I love you guys. But it makes a difference to hear from people who are in Thrive and what they feel about it. And it is so much more than just the coaching and the office hours. We have workshops every month. We have a deliverable that we give you every month. It's just an incredible community. We have a private forum. You guys, I said this on the last live. This is the caliber of person who joins Thrive. I have not had to moderate a single post. I've not had to take down a single post, and I have not had to kick anybody out. That is saying a lot. We are a bunch of mamas and dads. We have our dads in there. We have a growth mindset. We all want to be the best homeschoolers we can be, and that's why we're there, and that's what we have in common. And it is a positive place. It is a place where encouragement lives, and we never shame. We support. We are with you on office hours. You are live with me. You are not a number. I care about you. If you were a number, I wouldn't be closing the doors. I wouldn't be. I'd be wanting, you know what I mean? Like, I'm closing the doors so that I can have the space to give the individualized attention. That is why we are closing the doors. So,
sorry,
okay.
I missed the price. Can you repeat one more
Yeah,
time?
it's in my link tree. You can go in the link tree. You don't need a coupon code. The prices are just set. It is the lowest price it will ever be right now, and we're closing enrollment in about a week and a half here. Okay.
Oh, Kelly was a founding member, but left and regretted it.
Oh, are you back?
She's coming back.
Yay. Okay, good. And it's grown so much, Kelly, and so much more is added. Yay.
Lally, I just got your book.
Yay, Lolly. Awesome. Anybody in here currently reading Homeschool Rising? It's right there. Anybody currently reading it right now or is about to read it?
My hybrid has a curriculum, but you have the freedom to do it or not, as long as they keep up.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm wondering how we're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda's reading your book.
Yay.
Kelly's reading your book.
Yay, Amanda Kelly.
Jennifer Fidel, I live in Hawaii, and with the time difference, have difficulties attending live sessions. Could this be an issue joining Thrive?
Okay, so yes and no. So our office hours, we have people all over the world. We have people waking up to come to the office hours when they need to for the lives. So the workshops are all on replay. The 8-step homeschool success framework, you can watch. It's all available on replay. The Failsafe Homeschool Setup, even though we're doing it live, I immediately put it on replay if you can't make it live. So the answer is the only thing you would struggle with the time difference are the office hours, because those are set each month. Okay, with that said, we did structure Thrive so that if you take advantage of 2 of the offerings, we offer 8 things in there. You get 8 things. So you get the workshops, you get the office hours, okay? You get the 8-step homeschool success framework. If you utilize 2 of those things, you are getting your money's worth. So that's the question. When you go look at the link tree and you push on it and it tells you everything that's in there, If you are going to be able to utilize 2 of those items, you're fine. If not, then no, it's not worth your money. Okay.
Decario, can you tell us what I get once I sign up on Thrive? Like, what do I need to do, for example? I'm not even sure to homeschool yet. Is this only for people that are set for homeschool?
So it is for people who intend to homeschool. Yes, it is not for somebody who's on the fence. If you're on the fence about homeschooling, the thing you should do is grab my book on Amazon, Homeschool Rising, Shattering Myths, Finding Courage and Opting Out of the School System. That's the title of the book. So it gives you the courage to know that you can do this. If you are planning to homeschool this fall, this coming fall, then yes, I want you in Thrive. That's the time I need with you. I need the time with you now. I need to get you through the 8-step framework. I want to coach you on what curriculum to buy. I want you to get all set up with your calendaring. I want to make sure you're legal, all of those things. And that takes place. We start now, and then we kind of go slow. We go slow on purpose because we want to make really good decisions. And then we're going to end that in July. So if you're not sure if you're going to homeschool or not, don't join Thrive. Buy my book instead, and then you can join Thrive later when you decide that you're, because hopefully my book will convince you that it's awesome, and then you will. Join later. You can join later.
Jennifer Edwards, yes, she'll actually be speaking with Chrissy personally on Thrive. She's even more fabulous there.
Oh, you're so sweet. Meaning I cry. And I tell you I'm having a bad day and you get to see me without makeup? Yes.
Oh, Kelly just joined. It's official. I'm back in it for life.
Oh, good. Yay, Kelly. Good. And then when you buy the lifetime, you don't have to worry about monthly payments, too. We made it a really good deal. So.
Let's see. Maria, do you know of a dual immersion curriculum for homeschooling?
I know of language immersion curricula, but I don't know of like a school who is doing it. If you guys do, let me know. I would love to know about them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Tell me about how I can teach my middle schooler to learn how to love reading.
Okay, a middle schooler learning how to love reading. Oh, this is such a good question. Okay, first off, I want to point you to one of my freebies. I have a lot of freebies. One of them is recommended books, and these are binge reads that I have read to my own kids. The one thing that I will say is that humans love story, and if your child is a reluctant reader, first I have a lot of questions. Like I want to figure out why they're a reluctant reader. But no matter what, no matter where you go down that line of getting your kid, maybe they need help, maybe they have dyslexia or another type of reading disorder, disability, maybe they have that. But maybe they don't have concept visualization, so they need some remediation with their comprehension piece. But whatever that path is for you, please read aloud. And read good, binge-worthy books out loud where you just, as a family, you just can't stop. And I have a list of some of those in my bio, and I would start there. And then I have a lot of questions when I hear about kids being reluctant readers. I like to get to the bottom of why, and there are a lot of reasons why. So either we can answer all of that in Thrive, or you can do a consultation too.
Gabby says, what's the book title? I'm on the fence. I have so many questions.
Yes, the book title is Homeschool Rising, and it's on Amazon. It's a #1 new release. Ah! And it's in Barnes & Noble because I went today and I saw it. I can't believe it's in Barnes & Noble. So, yes, it came out last week, 2 weeks ago. Last week or 2 weeks? It's all a blur.
2 weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yes.
We can have.
Yeah, but it's on Amazon and it's Prime. It's on Amazon Prime.
Stephanie Vargas says, but for real though, will there be another book? I love it so much.
Oh, you're so sweet. And yes, yes, we'll write another book.
Your reading teacher on IG. I love Logic of English and all about reading. Are there other programs you really like for homeschoolers?
I like those two as well. There's a couple more that I'm looking at before I'm willing to make a recommendation, but I can wholeheartedly recommend those two.
Jess G says it's not on Kindle yet.
Okay. A couple weeks on Kindle, and it is going on audio. I'm not reading the audio, but it is going on audio. And it wasn't that I didn't try. I wanted to read my own book. And I told them my mamas are going to be mad. And they didn't care.
Kimberly says, I won't be able to listen to the audio because I heard your voice while I was reading it. LOL.
Good. Is that my Kim?
Yeah.
Good. See? I feel like you're one of my ride or dies, Kim. Thank you. I want you to be mad with me. Will you guys be mad with me? Is that codependent? Is that unhealthy?
No. Your reading teacher, I appreciate your caution about reading programs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, reading. So literacy is so vital that I don't mess around. There is no perfect curriculum. But what I will say, what I do believe about all about reading and logic of English is if your kid has gone through either of those two programs and is not reading, then that I personally recommend assessment after that. So, and hey, if you're a reading specialist, you should be on Christy-Faith's list so people can find you.
What's that?
Right? Christy-Faith's list. So it's a list of nationwide, actually worldwide, but of service providers that are homeschool friendly. So, because I got sick and tired of us going into doctor's offices and service providers and being ridiculed and I felt like a lot of places I was being put on trial just because I was a homeschooler. And so I was like, well, I'm sick of it. And my sister has had bad situations. There's a lot of history of why I started Christy-Faith's list, but basically I'm done. And I want a resource for all of us homeschool mamas to go to before we step foot in any service provider's office ever again. I want you to check that list to see if they're on there or not. And if they're not on there, ask why. Because truthfully, there have been people who are like, no, I'm not going to be on your list. And I'm like, good, because we don't want you on the list. So, because there are people that hate homeschooling. There are people that think that we are dangerous. There are people that think we're doing educational neglect. There are people that think that we are abusing our kids and keeping them in our basements and not socializing them. All false accusations. All of that is false. But there are people who believe that. And unfortunately, I have been in positions where I have been stuck at an ER where I felt like my family was being threatened simply because of my homeschooling choice. And so I'll probably be sharing that story at some point on social media, but that is why I started Christy-Faith's list. If you have a provider who you love, you can click a button that says refer a provider. And what we do, it takes you 30 seconds. And what we do is we send them a lovely invite, like thanking them for being amazing and how please join this list because you're amazing. And Susie recommended you and this is what she said about you. So if you have somebody you love, we want them on the list. And if you need somebody in your area, like I live in Houston and I need a pediatrician, you can request and we search for you. Yay! And then we get back to you. So that's what Christy-Faith's list is. Okay.
Okay. Jay Frenchie, your book will be the first I've fully read in years.
Oh, awesome. Do you like I want to vote here. Are you a nonfiction girl or a fiction girl? I'm so curious what my audience is here tonight. I'm a nonfiction girl. I have to force myself to read fiction, but then when I do, I'm in it. But you guys are going to be so mad. Last night, I started Verity. Who's read Verity? I started Verity, and I was like, my adrenals cannot handle a thriller. I did not look. Yeah, I'm the last person on the planet who didn't know that Verity was a thriller. I just, you know what? This perimenopausal mama here. So no, then I stopped it. Maybe another life. And then I went back to my beautiful World War II historical fiction. And I'm loving it. So, nonfiction. Okay, yeah. I'm obsessed with nonfiction. I feel like I'm being useful and utilitarian when I'm reading nonfiction, but I actually think I'm lying to myself because I think fiction has equal weight because it gives our minds rest and joy and, so, oh well. Another thing to talk about in therapy. Anybody else go to therapy?
Had to close out of the live for a minute. What was the second curriculum all about reading and what?
Logic of English.
Have you ever tried synthesis? What's your opinion on online programs and what would you recommend?
Wait, which one was synthesis?
I don't know.
Did they reach out to us?
I'm not sure.
They so many reach out. I don't remember if synthesis reached out. No, I do not know enough to say.
Oh, people are wondering. Spell Christy-Faith's list. It's in the link tree.
It's in the link tree. It's Christy-Faith's with an S list.
Dash list.
Maybe I should know how to spell it.
Thoughts on math with confidence? I know you prefer CTC, but I prefer something offline at the moment.
Oh yeah. I have not done a deep dive on math with confidence. I have not. But on the 3rd, I'm going to be going over a systemized process for choosing curriculum and narrowing it down. And I'm going to show you guys these charts that you can fill out to compare apples to apples. And that might really help you compare a couple of them.
Okay, and we're getting close to where we need
All right.
to wrap up. But Jennifer Edwards says, is lesson planning going to be covered in the fail-safe?
No, because I don't believe in lesson planning. Are my teachers in here freaking out? I don't think you should be lesson planning. And if you buy a curriculum that makes you lesson plan, I think you should throw it in the trash. Am I going to be up tonight saying, why did I say that?
Well, why don't you explain that further?
I think I should just drop it and leave it there.
Okay. Carolyn says I'm the same way. We don't lesson plan.
Yeah. So here, yes, I have had homeschool friends who lesson plan. They literally have the book with the squares and they open it up every Sunday night and they lesson plan. I struggle with that because you never live up to your lesson plan. You would have to, of course, there's ways to do lesson planning where there's margin. I know, I realize that. But to me, if you're buying solid curriculum and you know pretty much where you should be at any given point in the year, which they give you that scope and sequence, and if a curriculum is not giving you that, then again, throw it in the trash. But curriculum companies are not dumb. They know that we have a lot of kids and that we're busy and we're managing our whole house and a lot of us are working. So if they don't take the time to make it a smidge open and go, then I don't recommend them and I don't think you should use them. So that is strong. What I just said is super strong, but I'm not a big believer. I think that a lot of my friends who do lesson plan, they have told me that they enjoy it almost like it's just part of they love journaling and they like being able to see. There's another method where you can do if you like to see what you've done, I go over this in the fail-safe, is you can do something called backwards planning, and I can tell you what that is when you're in there, where you can still be able to see everything that you've done and what you've accomplished. But if you're buying good curricula, you do not need a lesson plan for it.
Okay, just a couple more questions here.
Now, is anyone freaking out that I said that? Can I move on? Or are you guys freaking out over that?
Toria, we're about to finish our first year of homeschool. Follow you on IG helped push me to start. It's been a rough year. Will Thrive help smooth out my system?
Yes.
Is Thrive secular?
Thrive is not secular. Secular means that we do not welcome people of other faiths. Secular means that you are basically not a god. We welcome everybody. We are what you call non-sectarian. So we are not religious. However, you are free to have your faith. We have Muslims, atheists, agnostics, Christians. We have everybody in there, and everyone is happy because we are non-sectarian. So if you say, I'm a Christian and I want a faith-based curriculum that helps me with blank, we come in and help you. Another lady the very next minute will say, hey, I'm secular. You can be secular and be in a non-sectarian group. I'm secular. That means you don't want any of your curriculum to have anything faith-based at all. You say, I'm secular and I need help with this type of curriculum, blah, 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 blah. We will come in, we will swoop in, and we will help you. So everybody that joins understands this. We are not a faith-based group. We are not a religious group. And we also are not a group that supports one of the styles over another. So that's kind of important because a lot of groups are a Charlotte Mason group. Or, hold on, this is about to, TikTok is about to, uh-oh. I don't know why it's doing that.
Okay, you're back.
It says it sensed, huh?
I think you're back.
It says it's going to end in 45 seconds.
Okay, well.
Okay.
That might be good.
All right. So we are non-sectarian, and you can read all about that. So I have 35 seconds. So you guys, check out Thrive because enrollment does close in about a week and a half. And okay, here it says verify to continue. There we go. All right, now I don't have to rush. Enrollment is closing April 3rd. That is where we are starting all together as a group, the Fail-Safe Homeschool Setup. And right now we have the best deal we have ever offered since founding members. Okay, good. I'm back on TikTok. The best deal we have ever offered since founding members. The price will never be lower than it is right now to join Thrive. There's a couple reasons why I did that. One, which I mentioned earlier, is we feel really bad that we are closing the doors, but we have to. I cannot be onboarding tons of people all spring long and having everybody in a different place. I need everybody all in the same place as we move through the fail-safe together. And the other piece is that we feel bad that we have to close the doors because we have to. So we wanted to offer you guys a no-brainer deal. I also want you now. I don't want people joining July 10th, 2 weeks or 3 weeks before they're starting to homeschool. That's too late. I want more time. I want more time with you. I want to walk you through the 8-step framework. I want you to do the finding your why. I want to de-school you a little bit and get you set up so that by the time you do start in August, you love your plan, you're confident in it, your kids are excited, you know what your year is going to look like, you have your vacations all planned out, you know what your weeks are going to look like, you know what your days are going to look like, and as you have questions and you're making adjustments when the school year starts, you have people to come to in the forum and in office hours directly with us to ask, because is it going to be perfect? No. We are always making tweaks. I think I changed my schedule within the first 3 months. I probably changed my schedule at least 6 times because I start a curriculum and then hate it, throw it out, sometimes. But okay, I do less and less of that now. So that's Thrive. Please join if you are homeschooling starting next year. Please join now. We're closing the doors and I love you. Okay, are we having a flat earth conversation?
No.
Are we having no? Oh, okay. So.
Okay.
I love you guys. I love you. I will see you later.